Heterosexuality consists of sexual behavior, practices, and identity based on desires for the opposite sex. As a sexual orientation, heterosexuality refers to an enduring pattern of sexual experience, physical or romantic attractions primarily to persons of the opposite sex, male and female. It also refers to an individual's sense of personal and social identity based on those attractions, behaviors expressing themselves, and membership in a community of others who share them. The term is usually applied to human beings, but is also observed for all mammals. The physical attraction of heterosexuality is the only fertilization means for sexual reproduction in the human race, without the use of current associated reproductive technologies. With associations with romantic love and identity in addition to its original, exclusively sexual, meaning dates back to early human societies and gender role separation. As such, gender role separation has been the subject of considerable scholarly commentary and study in human society since the earliest written records. Heterosexuality has been more intensely studied by medicine and later biology disciplines, and more recently that of psychology. Heterosexuality, along with bisexuality and homosexuality, together make up the heterosexual-homosexual quantum. Now, as we know, heterosexuality is the predominant orientation in today's world, and let's face it, most religious groups believe that heterosexuality is actually the godly sexuality, in the world today. You guys know what I'm talking about. But here's some more religious aspects on heterosexuality. Almost all religions believe that sex between a man and a woman is allowed, but believe it or not, there are a few that believe it is a sin, such as the Shakers and the Harmony Society. Those religions tend to view all sexual relations as sinful and promote complete celibacy. Other religions view heterosexuality as being inferior to celibacy. Some religions require celibacy for certain roles, such as Catholic priesthoods. Although Catholicism does not view marriage as inferior to priesthood. Now, we all know that Christianity views heterosexuality, like I said, as the godly sexual orientation, and views anything as far as transgenderism, transsexualism, bisexuality, homosexuality as sinful and an abomination. Heterosexual image. Heterosexuality, when you conform, not necessarily conform, but when you're identified with a certain orientation, you automatically have this persona, this public image. If you're heterosexual, you are male and female, which is pretty basic. You get married, you have a wonderful, beautiful wedding. It's accepted by the world. You have children. You buy a nice house. You both have nice jobs, perhaps. The wife is a stay-at-home mom, a Betty Crocker of sorts. That is kind of the image that you think of when you hear heterosexuality. It's really an image that's been passed down for a long time. The picture perfect type relationship, the relationship that a lot of people really long for, even in homosexual and bisexual relationships. They long for that normalcy between a man and a woman, even though the relationship may not be a man and a woman. So it's something that's really modeled after and longed for. And it's really quite interesting that your sexual orientation somehow automatically gives you this public identity, this thought process, like heterosexuality, with when we think of it, we automatically get an idea. What is heterosexuality? What is heterosexuality? What do you think of when you hear that word? You think of man and woman. You think of sex between a man and a woman. The type of life that a man and a woman will lead. They'll get married. It'll be socially acceptable. You know, they'll go on vacations. They'll have kids. They'll have grandkids. All these things that are normal to the world. Those things are normal, and anything out of that seems abnormal or distant or can be considered alternative. But it's really interesting to me how orientation defines image. How just your orientation somehow defines who you are. Like a lot of homosexual and quote-unquote alternative orientations automatically can feel as if heterosexual people automatically don't condone their alternative orientation, which again is an image that has been built up through mainstream media, that, you know, with Prop 8 and with these hate crimes and these, you know, hate groups who hide behind their orientation like heterosexuality or behind their religion like Christianity and try to use God or the Bible as their backbone to why they don't agree with this, when in some terms sexuality isn't as basic as what it may appear. You know, there are a lot of heterosexual people who have experimented in homosexual acts and homosexual tendencies, such as when you're a teenager, a lot of girls make out with girls. It isn't for sexual attraction, it's for fun. But with some people, that partying, those fun times then turn into attraction, which then make them question themselves. Are they bisexual? Are they gay? Are they not heterosexual? Things like that.